Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie and this is the OI, the derp Japanese heavy tank at tier 6, which is so popular in tier 6 clan wars, especially if you're trying to protect your own land or if you're trying to get into a bit of a heavy battle. It's big, it's fat, it's as ugly as sin, but it does have a ripper of a derp gun, which you're going to see in this replay from invalid username, again from Tim Clan. He sent me a couple of replays, and in this replay you're playing in counter battle on Winter Himmelsdorf, and he's almost top tier. There's only 3 tier 7 tanks on the enemy side as well as his own, and you can see he's got high explosive ammunition loaded and not lucky enough to land the first shot of the game into that T-37, which would have sent that T-37 straight back to the garage, licking his wounds. Our mate in the OI is going to the traditional place where heavy tanks do their thing, on the Banana Road on Himmelsdorf. They've lost a little tier 4 tank. That shouldn't matter too much. Tier 4 tank in a tier 7 game is not going to really influence the result a great deal, even if it's driven by a really good player, which looks like that guy was. But anyway, back onto the Banana Road. You can see he's got high explosive ammunition loaded, which does 910 hit points of damage if it pens. It's only got 75 penetration. You can see the other ammunition is a little bit less damage, but significantly more penetration. Now he's spotted the KV-85, and of course the frontal armour of the OI is fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. But so a lot of tanks are going to have trouble penetrating. Now you can see there, even though the damage with the high explosive shells are up to 900, he only did 300 hit points of damage, just because high explosive ammunition doesn't always do the full potential of damage, depending on the armour and where you shoot the enemy tanks. There's a bit of a RNG factor. He's moving right up against this KV-85. He rams him for 56 hit points, and then he takes him out of the game. Evening the score up again, 6-6 all, but the tanks on invalid username's team are slowly getting killed. They're down by 1 tank again, and now he's moving back towards his spawn, simply because that's where the enemy tanks are. They've all been lit up on this road leading down from the hill. Of course, it's a KV-2 and a T-34. Last spotted in the northwestern corner. That's probably why the Chaffee's not advancing. The Chaffee would be absolutely petrified of the KV-2's big derp gun, which is a similar gun to what's known to be a similar gun to the OI. Now, when I had the OI, I never used the derp gun. I thought the reload time just sort of killed it. Probably should have at least given it a try, but never really did. I was more of a, when it came to tier 6 battles, I was more into my Cromwell B. And fires a shot without fully aiming into the Panzer 4H, and of course that's the problem with all derp guns. They often take a long time to load, they're inaccurate, and you really need to make sure you've aimed properly if you're going to land your shots. Now he's in a bit of a, he's got a bit of a conundrum here. Does he go left or right? Of course, the Panzer 4H, if he exposes his sides, the Panzer 4H will put some damage into him, but he needed to be wary of that T-25 too as well. So he takes him out with 1 shot, doing a massive 900 odd damage. And his team's still in a bit of strife here. They're down by 2 tanks. He's got the VK-3601 behind him, but of course the rear armour of the OI is almost as good as the frontal armour. So the only place a tank like this is going to hurt him is by shooting him in the side. The sides are quite weak if you angle them, if you get them nice and flat. They puts another massive shot into that little tier 5 German premium tank before moving along and searching for these other tanks. There's a Panzer 4H again, but that KV-2 is capping. It looks like the cap time has been stopped by those other tanks, and they've even put some damage into the KV-2, but that KV-2 could quite easily take out those tanks. You could ram the Chaffee to death, or he could probably run over the AMX ELC, but we can't see what's happening on that side of the map. invalid username is taking control of this side of the map, and he needs to be wary. There's about 4 tanks that were all last seen over there. The VK3601, the artillery, the Russian Tier 7 artillery, which could definitely do some damage to him, the T-34, and of course that Panzer 4H that was putting a few cheeky shots into him from a distance. He's found the Panzer 4H. He's exposing his side here, but Derp strikes back. One shot's him, 480 hit points of damage, and the VK3601 shoots him in the back, but as I said earlier, the back armour of the OI is pretty strong indeed. Found that out the hard way when I first encountered them back when they first came into the game, probably a good year or so ago now, back when Tier 6 Clan Wars started and people were running around in these things all day. The AMX is coming up to spot, doesn't quite aim, but it doesn't matter. The Derp takes out the artillery with one shot, and the AMX ELC does his job by getting rid of that VK3601 who was on quite low hit points. And now you can see invalid usernames picked himself up 4 kills. He's done 2,610 hit points of damage so far. There's still 2 enemy tanks left, and it's 2 versus 2 now. The OI has finally made an appearance, and he's going straight for the flag, the enemy OI that is, and the T-34 last spotted in that corner of the courtyard in the middle of the map. And invalid username is going to try and get rid of that T-34 first. He's heading straight for where he was last seen. Of course, on encounter, it does take a lot longer to cap it out. So, still 1 minute and 50 to go. Looks like they're both on the cap circle now. Even with 2 tanks on the cap, 1 minute 45 is a long time when you're sitting there and you know there's an OI in the area. So he's using the chat system to let the AMX ELC know that wait for me, we'll go in together, because we don't want that OI to derp out the AMX ELC. You'd be better off taking a shot. The OI of invalid username would be better off taking a shot from the OI than the AMX would. Have a much higher chance of surviving it. There's still 1 minute 20 to go, and they're pretty close to the cap. The OI's been spotted. Not sure which way his gun's facing. AMX doing a great job lighting him up. And have a look at this for a little bit of trickery. Just looking through the hole in the window. Aims, bounces, but I didn't know about that little gap in the ruins there. Invalid username obviously thinking I might as well put a shot through here, and then the time it takes to reload I can be around the corner and looking at it from another direction. Now he bounces a shot from the OI, bounces 300, which tells me he's probably not using the derp gun. Now invalid username looking for a nice shot into the front, and he does. Shoots him for nearly 300 hit points. There's still 1 minute and 15 seconds to go before the enemy side cap it out, and so he's going to go around and get a bit of a different angle and try and put some damage in, or try and one-shot that T-34. That'll be the way to go. Bounces another shot from the OI. The T-34 runs away. So invalid username says, don't worry about that. I'm not going to try and one-shot the T-34. I'll one-shot the OI instead with the massive derp gun. Now he's willing the tank to reload. AMX ELC puts an awesome shot into the T-34. Is he going to go for the kill or go for the ram kill? He aims at him. He's waiting for it to reload. And the AMX doesn't. Denies the top gun. But even though he didn't get a top gun, it was an awesome game by invalid username. What an awesome name for a game. Invalid username from Tim Clan in the OI, the massive derp Japanese heavy tank. He picked himself up an ace tank, a mastery badge. Demolition expert for ammo wrecking an enemy tank. Bruiser, duelist, fighter, fire for effect and shell proof, and of course the steel wall for bouncing all of those shots, and the high caliber. Unlucky not to get the top gun on that occasion, but 3,270 hit points of damage. Absolutely carried that one. Look at all the other ones. The AMX ELC had an awesome game with 1,345 hit points of damage and 2 kills, but invalid username in his OI, the big derp Tier 6 Japanese heavy tank, 3,270 hit points of damage, 1,529 experience. Really unlucky to miss out on the top gun. I reckon they both fired at the same time, but the AMX must have been that little bit closer. But an awesome game in the OI, the Japanese Tier 6 heavy tank, which is so popular in Clan Wars. Tidy little profit there, nearly 28,000 credits after he's paid for his ammunition and stuff, and a really good game. Only fired 12 shots, but only 8 of them did damage. 9 of them hit, but what a result. An ace tanker in the Tier 6 Japanese heavy tank, the OI. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the replay. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.